Please give me some food, Mother. I'm so hungry. My stomach hurts.
You want to beg like a dog? Eat like a dog.
Aw, don't cry, sister. I snuck you some food. Come on, I'll bring you to it.
Is this a trick, Kate?
No trick. Follow me. Just a little further.
But there's mud.
That's where you belong, you filthy in the cesspool, like your mother. I mean, she did run off with the lowlife after all.
Don't speak about my mother.
Haven't you heard, Alessandra? I can do whatever I want around here.
It only took Alessandra a moment to realize Kate was wearing spiked jewelry.
Ow!
What the devil is going on?
Oh, my mother! Alessandra attacked me. I had to defend myself. She's a monster.
Are you okay, my child?
Look at what you've done. You dirty. You're just like your mother's filthy.
Look at her face. People say Desmond Barrett tortures his own daughter.
The last thing Baron Desmond wanted was a public scandal. The reason was simple. Alessandra's mother left her fortune and the Barrett estate in Alessandra's name.
I've explained this to you 100 times. If we kick out Alessandra, we'd lose everything.
Well, I refuse to look at her face.
What do you want me to do?
And so, Alessandra would live her life with her face covered in a mask.
Haven't you heard? Her mother put a hex on the girl. Anyone who gazes upon her face dies.
The rumors spread like wildfire, and soon, people avoided Alessandra at all costs. She lived a secluded life within the walls of the Barrett mansion, with her cat Luna as her only friend. But most of all, she missed her mother.
One day, I'm going to wear this and go far, far away from here.
She found solace in the wedding dress her mother had left behind, her tears soaking into the fabric.
So, Mother, your wedding dress wouldn't look half bad on me. Just need someone who could stand to marry me, right, Luna?
Even though Alessandra was older, so was her bully.
Hello, dear sister. Okay. I thought I heard a little animal in here.
Kate couldn't have found out about Luna, could she?
Animal? Well, no, of course not. So, you must be very excited about the party tonight.
Of course I am. It'll be fabulous. Finally, Duke Edgar Collins and I can have some alone time.
Duke Edgar Collins, huh? I heard he used to be very particular.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
Nothing. I was just saying that he's eccentric, is all.
Well, you would know all about that, wouldn't you, cursed girl? You know, your mother had such good taste, Alessandra. Too bad we're running out of toilet paper.
That was my mother's, and it was the only thing I had left of her.
Sweet sister, the sooner you cut ties with her, the better. She was a whore after all, wasn't she?
My face may be scarred, but you're ugly on the inside, Kate.
Oh, cry me a river. Why don't you run and tattle to Daddy? Oh, wait. Are you scared I might tell him about that mangy rescue cat you're hiding?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What do you think he would do if he found out? Personally, I hope he kills the disgusting creature.
One day, I will escape this place.
Oh, You will never do that, freak. You're not going anywhere. You will die in this castle all alone. I'll send up some table scraps after the party. Toodaloo, sister. Luna, my mother's dress is all ruined. Luna.
Her father and stepmother Katrina hated cats and all animals. Alessandra couldn't afford them to see Luna wandering around.
I won't let them hurt you, Luna.
Alessandra knew that if she were ever caught outside her room, they would punish her. She had to be careful.
Alessandra, what are you doing out of your room?
She wasn't careful enough.
Tonight is one of the most important nights this family's had in ages. Kate must impress the Duke, and I cannot afford to have anyone seeing you. Do you understand me?
Yes, Father. I will go back to my room.
Alessandra spotted her cat just past her father. She stiffened, hoping not to arouse any suspicion.
I still curse your horrid mother for leaving you with me as a burden. And unless you want to go hungry for the rest of the week, I suggest you don't show your face again.
Gotta be more careful, miss.
It was Mario, the cook.
Luna, Mario, thank you.
Come with me before anyone sees you. Alessandra, what are you doing here? Huh? I don't want you getting in trouble.
Mario was the only person who was still kind to Alessandra, or at least, that's what he wanted her to believe.
I know. My goodness, it's busy in here today, huh?
Yeah, no idea.
The whole castle had lost their minds over the arrival of Duke Collins. The staff had never seen a party so big for one single person.
Oh, trust me, I know. All of the girls are basically fighting for a chance to be the Duke's bride. It's ridiculous.
You sound a little jealous. Maybe it's you who wants to get married.
Yeah, right. Like there's a man out there who could see past my scars.
Hey, you'd be surprised.
This kind remark made Alessandra blush. No one ever saw anything in her, apart from her scars.
The only use I have of a husband is to take me as far away from this castle as possible.
Well, I, for one, would miss you.
Mario, do you think the rumors about the Duke are true? They say he's ruthless.
I hear he may be connected to those missing women.
Women had been going missing in Lockwood. And no one knew why.
The missing women? You think the Duke is behind all of that?
I don't want to know. Steer clear of him. That man doesn't play by the rules.
Suddenly, Alessandra and Mario's nice conversation was interrupted.
What is this mess? Get this kitchen in order before the Duke arrives, or I'll see to it that you all get the guillotine.
But suddenly, Katrina's eyes narrowed in on Alessandra.
And what are you doing here? Sulking around the kitchen like a servant. It's pathetic.
I was just...
You were just leaving. It is Kate's big day, and we can't afford you scaring the Duke off. Now get out of my sight! Go back to your room where you belong. What's our plan for that ocean?
Not yet, but it will be, my lady.
It turned out Katrina was using Mario for information on Alessandra.
Good.
But what were Katrina and Mario plotting?
Answer me! My patience is running thin, you swine.
Suddenly, Alessandra heard something she wasn't supposed to. Standing across from her father was William Lancaster. The air around him seemed to thicken with malice.
Please, Sir William, just give me a little more time. Once Kate is engaged to the Duke, her dowry will pay off all my debts.
Alessandra's mind raced, wondering how her father had gotten into such a dangerous man's bad graces.
How do you know what the Duke will propose? He will. Kate is beautiful and charming. She'll win him over.
Yes, she is very beautiful. I remember the night you let me spend with her in exchange for your payments being late.
Kate had been sold for a night to William Lancaster, all because her father was late on payments. It was the worst night of her life. Alessandra couldn't believe it. She had no idea her father was in such debt, nor did she know he had to sell Kate's body to pay it off.
You better hope the Duke proposes to Kate. Otherwise, you'll need to find another way to pay your debts to me, old man.
Alessandra was horrified to see Luna had crept into her father's study and was rubbing up against William Lancaster's leg.
What is this disgusting animal? Away from me, beast! Get away!
Sir William threw Alessandra's cat out of the window.
What have you done?
Alessandra, get a hold of yourself!
Is this your other daughter? The one I hear so much about? The cursed one?
Apologies, Sir William. I'll send her off at once.
Oh, don't. I like her fire. So very, very feisty, yes. I find you extremely intriguing.
His gaze roamed Alessandra's body with an unsettling hunger.
Back off me, you creep.
Yes, you are a unique little gem. I think she'd be a great addition to my collection.
Collection, Alessandra thought. Could Sir William be behind all the missing women?
Yes, Desmond, you old buzzard. I think she'd be fine payment for the debts you owe me. She needs to learn to obey you, Desmond. A little discipline goes a long way.
Get out! Now!
I'm so sorry, Luna. I should have protected you from those monsters. I only wish that they would have thrown me out the window, too. So I could have left this place.
Alessandra needed a plan, an escape plan, but suddenly she heard a grand carriage pulling up to the castle. A man stepped out, tall, broad-shouldered, with an authority that seemed to command the very air around him.
It's Duke Edgar Collins.
Why am I here again?
Why, to find a wife, Your Grace. As per the King's orders.
Even from this distance, Alessandra could see the irritation on his face.
The King, I'd rather marry my horse. I'm only here to get more information about these missing women, Alfred, not love.
But, sir...
Do not but sir me, Alfred. I do not have time for love and affection, and I do not desire to get married, ever.
Duly noted, sir. Now, shall we?
We shall.
No wonder the Duke looked irritable. He was being paraded about like a show pony.
He's not looking for a wife. He's trapped.
Suddenly, Alessandra's plan came into motion. Back in the courtyard, Edgar was steeling himself for what awaited him on the other side of the door.
Kill me now, Alfred?
He had only just arrived, and already Duke Edgar's patience was running thin.
Duke Collins, may I present my beautiful and young daughter, the finest jewel in all the land.
He may have been the most eligible bachelor in town, but he was a man of principle and was disgusted by these desperate mothers, begging him to marry their daughters as if they were farm animals.
I am not interested. Now step aside.
Everyone was obsessed with Duke Edgar's wealth, and each mother eyed him like a tiger hunting her prey.
Oh, Duke, I have two beautiful daughters for you to choose from. Neither speak much, but they will make an obedient bride.
Maybe they don't speak, but it's obvious that you don't listen. I am not in search of a wife, you daft.
Well, excuse me, but we did all understand that you were back on the market.
What absolute idiot said that?
Why, the king, of course. We all heard from the Majesty himself that he couldn't wait for you to have a duchess by your side.
Duke Edgar couldn't believe the king would take their rivalry this far. They played pranks on each other for years, but this was too much. The king knew how much Edgar didn't want to marry, so now Edgar knew what he had to do.
Excuse me. Stop the music. I'm going to say this one time, and one time only. All of your daughters are horrid, which makes you all horrid. I am not seeking a bride. I bid you a good evening. You may resume the music. This is going to be a miserable evening.
As the Duke was ready to leave early, he spotted someone he wanted to speak with.
Duke Edgar, welcome to my home.
Excuse me. Thank you.
But it wasn't Kate.
Oh, Your Grace. It is an honor to have you join us at this quaint little gathering.
William, I didn't know that this party came with a pest infestation.
Always the charmer, aren't you? That the charm you're going to use to win over a wife? A wife is what brought you to this den of desperation, is it not?
You would know everything about desperation, wouldn't you, Lancaster?
The Duke was implying that William Lancaster was behind the string of abductions.
Do you really believe that I don't think that you're behind these missing women? That you don't have trinkets locked in your basement for your own amusement?
I despise that accusation. I'm simply a collector of companionship, nothing more.
But Duke Collins knew better than to believe a word out of Lancaster's mouth.
I'm neither blind nor dumb. I know you have your filthy hands in this. And when I can prove it, you'll be hanging from the gallows.
What a vivid imagination you have, Edgar. But alas, I'm simply here to enjoy the party. I suggest you do the same. Why don't you get your wet? It might do you some good to get that little do some play.
Duke Collins, it's an honor to have you here tonight. I was afraid you wouldn't come.
Let's skip the pleasantries, Baron. You know why I'm here.
Yes, of course I do, Your Grace, but what kind of host would I be without offering you a drink first?
I don't want a drink.
Baron Desmond had sent Duke Collins a note, claiming he had information about the missing women. Had he wasted the Duke's evening and baited him with a false promise?
Now, either you have something useful to tell me, or I'm going to make you regret for wasting my time.
Baron Desmond's eyes darted around the room, clearly desperate to avoid a scene.
Yes, of course, Your Grace. I'll fetch it upstairs.
Good. Now hurry up and do it.
But Duke Collins wasn't off the hook just yet, because Baron Desmond had a very specific reason for luring him here tonight.
Forgive me, milord, but I see that you've been ignoring the eligible young ladies tonight. Well, my daughter Kate.
Duke Collins couldn't believe Baron Desmond's gall.
Do I look like a shooting star to you, Baron? Or a lucky penny? Or a freshwater well? Or maybe some candles on top of a birthday cake?
I apologize, Your Grace. I don't think I understand.
Well, you seem to think that I'm here to just grant wishes. Let me be clear. I am not interested in marriage, nor in playing matchmaker with your of a daughter. Now, run along and get me the information that I need. Now.
Yes, Your Grace.
The thought of fresh air and a moment of solitude was the only thing keeping Duke Collins from storming out of this pathetic charade entirely.
We need to expedite the timeline. I want that deformed monster out of my house. You're sure she doesn't suspect a thing?
Not a thing. She's always believed I'm her only friend. Pathetic.
The creature doesn't have a friend in the world. Well, not anymore. Can't be friends with a dead cat.
Duke Edgar knew they were talking about Alessandra, the Baron's other daughter, the masked one.
Can I just have a second?
Pardon me, my lord.
It was her, Alessandra.
No, it must be my fault lurking in the shadows.
What are you doing out here alone? Party is inside.
I'm very much aware of that, Alessandra. What? You don't think I know who you are? Who else would be wearing the mask in the Baron's home with the supposed cursed daughter?
Are you scared of me?
No. I've seen many scarier things in my day. A simple mask does not scare me.
Alessandra wrinkled up her nose, disgusted with the smell of his cigar.
I think it's gonna kill you if you don't stop.
Oh, I do hope it speeds up the process. Do I scare you?
In that moment, Alessandra chose to be coy. She couldn't let him into her game too soon.
I don't know who you are, to be honest.
Right. Sure. I'll play along at your little game. I am Edgar Collins, but you can just call me Edgar.
The Duke.
One and the same.
Alessandra chose her next words carefully, treading lightly.
You are said to be married. Is that why you're here? For my sister, Kate?
I would rather die. No offense. None of those young women in there shall be my wife. They are all just like matching dolls in a set.
Now that Alessandra was certain he hadn't chosen a bride,
What about me? If I were to ask you to marry me, what would you say?
What none of you seem to understand is the sole fact that you would be setting yourself up for a loveless marriage if I were to pick you. I'm not interested in getting married. But then this godforsaken rumor got passed around.
Well, what if I don't want you to love me?
Most marriages these days didn't begin with love.
Alessandra knew only someone as powerful and dangerous she was trapped in. And the only way to win him over was to make it a business proposition.
What about a contract?
A contract marriage. I've never had a proposal like that before.
But winning over a man like Duke Edgar wasn't going to be easy. Alessandra realized that quickly. He was cautious, calculating, and he had his ways of testing people.
Did your father put you up to this?
But little did the Duke know, and no matter how sharp his sword or pointed his threats, she wouldn't flinch.
Everything I say to you right now has nothing to do with my father. I leave it up to you to believe me. I'm not interested in marrying anyone for love. I only wish to leave this place and never look back.
The Duke paused. Could he trust her?
So then what is the plan? Does your father plan to marry you off to a man far older than you? Or does he plan to ship you off somewhere? I mean, it has to be pretty drastic for you to ask a man that you don't know to marry you.
With defiance in her eyes, Alessandra laid the truth bare, unpolished and bold.
It is suffocating to be here. I'm forgotten by my own father. I do not care about your looks, Duke Edgar, nor your money, nor anything the others might want. Frankly, I only see you as an escape.
Perhaps their meeting was unplanned, but Alessandra didn't want to leave without proposing what she had in mind.
I have heard my family speak of how the king wishes you to marry. For someone not interested in a romantic relationship, I might be a good choice. I will live quietly, like a ghost. I will do whatever you want of me, and I shall not love you.
It is not hard for me to find an actress to play the role of my wife.
If it were so easy, you would have done so already.
Edgar was beginning to like this side of Alessandra. Fearless, bold. He wasn't used to women who could turn adversity into opportunity, let alone use their wit to woo him.
If the king is toying with you, choosing a wife like me will certainly make him regret it.
The corners of his mouth lifted.
You're quick on your feet. And the rumors they say about you are false. You're not timid at all. You're smart.
You are said to be a monster, yet you seem human to me. I do what I must to survive. But if you're not interested in doing a contract with me, then I shall leave you be.
Alessandra thought this was it. She wouldn't beg, not even if he was her only way out. But her boldness didn't go unnoticed. The Duke had something to say.
Meet me in my residence tomorrow. We will discuss further details there, and then I will give you my answer.
As the Duke laid down his counter condition, it became clear. If this was to be her escape, it wouldn't be easy. But Alessandra's pride wouldn't let her back down. As their eyes locked, it was obvious. Neither would yield. Two strong-willed individuals, each with something to gain and neither willing to lose. This wasn't just a union. It was a battle of wills.
But I never leave here.
I gathered that much from all of your sneaking around this place. Think of it as a test. I want to see how determined you are. I've spent far too much time at your home, but Hopefully I'll see you again soon.
As the Duke turned to leave, Alessandra couldn't help but fear what awaited her at his home. Was he truly taking her seriously? Or was this just another test to mock her? But as she turned to follow, she froze.
We shall. Oh, Duke Edgar!
Kate's blood boiled as she saw Alessandra with the Duke. Her father had arranged the ball for Kate to entice the wealthy Duke. After all, Kate believed she was the prettiest girl in the kingdom. But seeing her disfigured stepsister standing at his side, it set off a wave of alarm.
I hope she has not offended you, Duke Edgar. She was not supposed to be out here.
Kate glared at Alessandra, warning her to run away. Edgar stopped right beside Kate.
She has not offended me. Not like your father has.
Thank goodness. She can...
It might be due to me being an only child, but shouldn't you be referring to her as your sister, or maybe even her name?
Seeing the Duke speaking to her sister, Alessandra used this chance to run away before any of them would ask her to speak. Edgar listened quietly to the sound of Alessandra running away, while Kate tried to think of a good answer to what he had asked her. He wondered what Alessandra was so afraid of when it came to Kate.
You are correct, Duke Edgar. You see, when siblings argue, we tend to do petty things to one another. But I do love my sister. But, as you can see, she is extremely shy and can be awkward at times. That is why I was concerned that she might have offended you.
Kate put on her mask of being a good sister. She would do anything to make the Duke see she was a good person. There was no one else she saw worthy of being her husband.
You see, Duke, I had hoped for some alone time between the two of us. I wish to show you that I could make an excellent choice for your wife.
Edgar was annoyed with Kate, who could not take a hint.
What is it with this misconception that I am only looking for a wife that pleases me in bed?
You visit the Light District.
Edgar shrugged his shoulders, not seeing what that had to do with his future wife.
And what if I were to go there to read a book?
It is awfully loud there.
Enlighten me. How do you know of how loud it is there? What on earth would the Baron's daughter be doing in a place like that? Except for listening to gossip of what others do there.
No, you are misunderstanding.
Kate tried to clear it up right away. She had never visited such a place.
Understand this, Kate. What you are doing now will never entice me. Besides, I have already received a better offer.
My lord!
There are plenty of other suitors to come and rescue you, princess. Excuse me.
As the Duke left Kate on the ground, fury burned within her. What better offer could he possibly mean?
No, go away! Nobody humiliates me like that. No one!
Kate's mind raced. Could it be Alessandra's offer that had caught his attention? Alessandra ran as fast as she could, as if her very life depended on it. Her heart raced with fear. What if Kate had overheard everything she said? How could she even make it to the Duke's house now? Would the Duke reveal everything to Kate? She needed a plan to make her way to his home tomorrow. But first, she had to find food for herself. Alessandra walked down the corridor after grabbing her food. She stumbled upon a maid.
Them are so rude. Why can't they just get their own drinks? Just get your own drinks if you don't like the way I hold them.
Alessandra couldn't help but worry that the maid's reactive behavior could easily get her into trouble. Alessandra decided to warn her.
You shouldn't be so loud if my stepmother hears.
The maid felt fear flood her body the instant she saw the mask. This was Alessandra Barrett, and she'd heard the rumors.
Please! Please don't hurt me! Hurt you? No.
Unless a food fight sprang up, there was no way Alessandra could hurt anyone.
God, when will people start thinking logically and not believe all the rumors? I'm just doing my job. Please, milady, don't kill me!
The maid believed the curse. She was worried seeing Alessandra's face was enough to kill her.
I'm not a monster. They are.
She stepped in, thinking how charismatic it was for the Duke not to fear her. For once, someone was accommodating, something she wasn't used to. As she ate, Alessandra glanced at her childhood sketches, naive drawings of a prince who'd rescue her from the shadows. But was the Duke truly her escape? Or would his darkness consume her own? Could this be salvation for two strong-willed souls, or the beginning of a beautiful disaster, she wondered. She felt a sudden anticipation for tomorrow's talk with Edgar. She wished tomorrow would come sooner.
Hopefully I'll see you again soon.
But someone close was getting suspicious of Alessandra.
You're hiding something, stepsister? And I'm going to find out what it is.
Milady, breakfast is here.
Suddenly, Alessandra remembered her conversation with the Duke the previous evening. It was very possible today was the day her life would change forever.
Milady? What is she still doing here? Your breakfast?
Alessandra was confused why her tray had been placed on the floor today if the maid was still standing there. Suddenly, Alessandra felt a crushing pain in her hand.
Good morning, sister. I said, good morning, sister.
Good morning, Kate.
Run along. Did you have fun last night, Alessandra?
Yes.
Yes? Kate detected boldness in Alessandra and hated it.
Just because you ran into the Duke last night, you think you had fun?
No. It's not that. I had fun in my room last night. The music reached my room.
Is that so? Tell me, what did you discuss with the Duke last night?
Kate needed to confirm with her own ears nothing serious had happened between the Duke and Alessandra. She'd be humiliated if it turned out he'd taken an interest in Alessandra and not her.
I did not notice him standing there as I was passing by. He called my name when I failed to address him, and then he scolded me, and then you arrived.
Kate wasn't ready to accept this was the full story.
What else?
He spoke about marriage and about you as an option. Nothing more, I swear.
Alessandra couldn't stand the pain, but Kate was still deciding if she believed her stepsister. Kate freed Alessandra's hand. She was pleased Edgar had spoken about her, but she wondered. Why on earth was he playing so hard to get last night when the two of them walked back into the party?
Of course he spoke about me, but who would want to speak to you, freak? In any case, you shouldn't have shown him your face yesterday. What if he'd thought himself cursed, and then came after us in anger? What would you have done then, freak? Do you think you would have been safe?
Kate pushed every ounce of her force into Alessandra's hand to hurt her as much as possible.
Then stay in your room, you miserable...
Kate, stop it this instant!
Desmond Barrett was hardly shocked to see his youngest daughter hurting his eldest.
But father, The Duke saw her last night, and they spoke.
You did? Why didn't the Duke mention this to me?
I'll take care of this, Kate. Move along.
Now.
Despite the pain in her hand, Alessandra tried to disappear quickly. A dispute with her father was the last thing she needed.
Alessandra, tell me what happened last night between you and the Duke. And why were you out of your bedroom? You know we were having a party. What if someone had seen you?
Nobody came with dinner last night and I was hungry. The garden is off limits. I thought I could run by quickly. That is all, Father.
Alessandra's words weren't enough for Desmond. The Duke seeing her could have ruined Kate's chances of marrying him. And Desmond couldn't afford to let that happen.
Fine. What did you talk about then?
He only asked if he could smoke there and then talk to me about Kate as a marriage candidate.
Really?
He'd been worried Kate did not successfully seduce the Duke last night.
The Duke is a very strange man. He must want to observe her a little longer. This is good. This is very good. Still, you shouldn't have gone out. What if I changed my mind and someone saw you out there?
Alessandra wondered if her father would rather she had starved.
I'm sorry, Father.
Yes, well, no use in scolding you now. Whoever didn't bring your food is to blame. And as for Kate, well, I'm sorry about your hand. She's just thinking about the family. You must get terribly bored being in this room all the time, Tell me, what do you need to pass the time? Tell your father, and I shall go fetch it.
Well, now that you should ask, I've run out of things to paint. I wish to paint the town. Could I possibly take an outing to explore new landscapes? I promise I won't let anyone see my face.
But if they kept Alessandra locked away, she would try to leave her bedroom more. He concluded that it was best to give her a little bit of freedom, especially after what Kate did.
Promise me, you won't leave the carriage.
I promise. I would never lie to you, Father.
Alessandra's plan was underway. Alessandra rushed into the carriage, heart pounding. This was what freedom might finally look like.
Word to me, lady.
Duke Edgar Collins' estate.
Meanwhile, the Duke stood waiting, restless, unmoving. He wasn't a man used to waiting. Women usually vied for his attention, hung on his every word. But this one, she'd left him wondering, and still he waited. What was she about to say before Kate interrupted? Was it a yes or a no? His jaw tensed, hands clasped behind his back, eyes locked on the horizon through the towering windows. He should have walked away, and yet, why was he still drawn to her?
Your breakfast.
Alfred found it odd that the Duke was not seated at his desk as he normally was.
Good morning, Alfred. Has anyone come to see me this morning?
Are you expecting someone, sir? Should I prepare breakfast for them?
Edgar thought if all went as planned, his home would finally have a lady again. The first since his mother.
I am not entirely sure. I extended an invitation to someone last night, but she has yet to arrive.
What?
She might become the lady of this house.
Duke Edgar was curious to see if Alessandra really would visit him. She was never seen out in public, so her coming all the way here to make a marriage contract with him was an intriguing prospect.
I do not plan to get married. Just the woman last night, she was so intriguing. And it would piss off the king and ward off anybody from surrounding me.
I do not understand. How could the lady's coming piss off the king and ward off others?
It will be self-explanatory if she were to come today.
How long has it been since...
Something was definitely amuck outside, but what exactly was it? Alfred rushed over, concerned. It was unlike any maid to hurry toward him, let alone hand him a note.
Someone's seen a ghost.
Alfred started to read the paper.
Oh my. It appears we are in for a surprise, sir. The Lady Alessandra Barrett wishes to have an audience with you.
Duke Edgar was pleasantly surprised Alessandra had come, and earlier than he'd expected.
Well, invite her into my study.
Yes.
Alessandra Barrett. Interesting person you are.
Edgar wanted to be the judge if Baron Desmond truly had nothing to do with Alessandra wanting to get married to him. Their meeting could very well have been orchestrated. He told the Baron he was going out to smoke, and Alessandra conveniently appeared. And the only thing making Edgar believe this might not be a coincidence was the Baron not sending his younger daughter, Kate. Alessandra had arrived. She wasn't sure if this was the right choice, but she was desperate to escape, and no one dared cross the Duke, which made her wonder, what was she walking into?
No wonder he's the biggest catch to get married. Duke's filthy rich.
Large doors of Edgar's home opened up, revealing a man in butler clothes.
Welcome, Alessandra Barrett. The Duke is expecting you.
Alfred made sure not to stare at her mask, so as not to be rude.
Come. I'll lead the way.
Alessandra was breathless. Trading her prison for a vast estate felt unreal. And when she saw the Duke shared her love for painting, she wondered, was he the perfect match? Or were they two swords that couldn't rest in the same sheath?
He's in here.
Alfred did not know how Edgar and Alessandra had gotten to the point of wanting to marry one another, but he could tell how nervous she seemed. He smiled to ease her fears. After all, he was starting to like having her around. Alessandra felt her heart skip a beat when the door closed behind her.
I wasn't expecting you to show up. But if you did, breakfast time wasn't my guess.
Was I meant to come in the night? As a thief would?
Her boldness shocked him. He had meticulously orchestrated every condition in the contract, details Alessandra hadn't even considered. He saw her desperation to escape, and he made sure she wouldn't turn it into an advantage.
Let's get on to business, shall we?
As the contract lay on the table, Alessandra wondered will her freedom would come at a price. What exactly are the conditions of the contract? Was the Duke her savior, or a trap waiting to silence her forever? Two fierce souls, both hiding scars. Was this the rise of power against evil, or the birth of chaos?
To listen to the full audio series, install the Pocket FM app now.
Pocket FM. Download the app now.